Good late evening. It is August the 29th, 2017, and a second updated video on Tropical Storm Future Tropical Depression Harvey as it continues to move northeast into our neck of the woods and has now officially made its third landfall in southwestern Louisiana and is spitting some very high rainfall totals in parts of the Texas and Louisiana border. In Belmont, Texas, just east of Houston, Houston has now come to an end with their rainfall. Some scattered showers are possible overnight tonight, but nothing that is going to amount to any more rainfall as far as heavy rainfall is concerned. An inch at the most could be expected in Houston, but after all of the rain, another inch is not going to make too much of a difference compared to where the maximum was 51 point something inches over parts of a suburb in southeast Texas. So incredible rainfall. To give you an idea, our average annual rainfall in Paducah is 45 to 50 inches of rain, and they got 51 inches of rain in about 5 days. So absolutely incredible, indescribable, and probably something that you will never see again in your lifetime unless something just happens to beat out Harvey. But they also said that with past hurricanes, and Harvey ended up beating them as far as rainfall records are concerned. This now set the new country annual, or not country, but yeah, the new United States rainfall record. So this is something that is going to be down in the record books for a while and probably will never get beat, at least in my lifetime. But in the meantime, we are watching Tropical Storm Harvey as it continues to move into the coast of Louisiana, is spitting some severe weather across parts of southern Alabama and the Florida Peninsula. Not the Florida Peninsula, but the Florida Panhandle, rather. Here's the National Hurricane Center's cone of uncertainty. This is showing you basically anywhere in this cone you have a chance of seeing the center of Harvey track through your community. And earlier today and overnight last night, they shifted this southeast as a lot of the overnight runs of the models did shift the heaviest rain axis to our south and east and the center of Harvey to our south and east, but it now looks like they are beginning to move just a little bit more towards the northwest and are beginning to set it and settle and agree on a track somewhere through here where my mouse is going. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the slideshow for tonight and show you guys what we can expect. This is the European model showing us 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. The first raindrops from Harvey is going to be moving into our region, so-called. So this is about a 40 to 50% chance of some rainfall. I think I said a 60% chance with my forecast that came out this morning for rainfall chances on Wednesday. So a 60% chance of some scattered variety of nature shower and thunderstorms throughout the Pennyroyal area of western Kentucky, or rather the Purchase area. Both regions will be getting the same amount of rain and the same type of rain, these scattered storms, on the onset of it. As we move into late Wednesday night and early Thursday morning, it looks like a strong band of showers and thunderstorms is going to form somewhere along western Tennessee and will move into our neck of the woods from the southeast to the northwest, and it could be fairly strong with some gusty winds, some heavy rainfall, and it looks like it's going to be very slow to move. So about an inch or two of rainfall can't be ruled out with that first strong band of showers and thunderstorms that pushes through on Thursday morning. Something that I do not agree with on the Euro model is it does show that we see rainfall settling in, that heavy, steady rainfall settling in as early as Thursday at noon. Notice the low pressure system, which I agree with down here in parts of west central Mississippi, is all the way down there. So I don't think that we're going to be looking at that steady, heavy rainfall that far north of the area of low pressure. I think that it will be mainly confined to the north, the west, and towards the east of that area of low pressure, or the center of the tropical depression Harvey by that time. And I do not think that we'll be looking at rainfall totals in excess of 1 to 2 inches as early as Thursday at noon. So it doesn't look like we're going to be looking at that steady, heavy rainfall settling in until Thursday night. So I think that we'll still see that morning band of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday morning as early as sunrise, and then we will see a break with some scattered showers possible around the region. But then we begin to look at the heavy, steady rainfall move in by late Thursday night and then on Friday morning as that low pressure center begins to strengthen and moves towards our region. It does look like, excuse me, we will see some rainfall totals around 2 to even 3 inches per hour in some locations. Excuse me here, but you can notice that we are looking at that heavy, steady rainfall settling in by Friday morning, and it looks like we will see that low pressure system move to our southeast, and it does look like the models are beginning to hone in and agree on a track somewhere right through here, like I showed you at the beginning of the video, through western Tennessee and into south central Kentucky around the Bowling Green area is where the low pressure center should be by Friday afternoon, and it could be spitting some misty wind-blown showers around the backside of that area of low pressure all day on Friday. So this is the NAM control model. So this is showing us. This is my second favorite model. This is showing you us that first band right here on Thursday morning pushing through, then that steady heavy rainfall moves in, and by the time we get to Friday afternoon, that low pressure just sits there and continues to push wind-blown showers into our region. Once again, I will play it again. Here is that animated futurecast radar from the NAM model. Scattered showers and storms on Wednesday afternoon and early evening. Strong band moves through on Thursday morning, a break, and then we see the onset of that heavy, steady rain move in by Friday morning and late Thursday night. And then by the time we get to the actual daytime hours on Friday, it looks like the heaviest rainfall rates will move through on Thursday night. Most of the day Friday looks to be chilly, windy, cloudy, and rainy. So mainly a misty, wind-blown, showery kind of day, something that is definitely going to remind us of fall, and something that we're going to have to monitor very closely as far as those temperatures are concerned, because we could be looking at some very chilly temperatures for the day on Friday, and with a northerly wind coming out of the north at around 20 to 30 miles an hour, even gust up to 40 miles an hour, it could definitely be a chilly day out there. Here's that futurecast showing you the temperatures from the NAM model as well, or rather the GFS model, and you can tell that the temperatures on Friday morning should be cooler than they are during the day on Friday. It shows some regions, some communities in the upper 50s to low 60s for high temperatures on Friday. So absolutely incredible. And with that being said, it does look like a chilly night would be ahead of us for Friday night and then on early Saturday morning. Here's that wind showing you guys. That wind on the backside of that area of low pressure, gusts over 30 to 35 miles per hour are going to be likely. So some tree limbs, some even trees could come down with all of this rain coming and then the wind coming in right behind it and on the backside of that area of low pressure. So when the misty, wind-blown showers arrive and the heavy, steady rainfall has moved off towards our north and east, that's when the high winds should begin to kick in. Some models are showing gusts over 50 miles an hour, and some are showing severe level wind gusts. I don't think we'll be looking at wind gusts that high unless the low pressure center begins to move closer towards our region. But as of right now, if it stays on the track that most models are thinking through western Tennessee and south central Kentucky, then we shouldn't have to worry about wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour. Now here's the European ensembles showing you guys all of the 51 members of the European ensembles are basically each one representing an L, a red L right here, and these numbers are the millibars that are forecasted for the pressure level of that low pressure center, and the more that we see agreement means the more closer those red L's are going to be together. So we see a very big cluster. Still not what I would like to see, but we still have a couple of days before we begin to see the onset of this preset move in, and it looks like we are looking at a lot of the clustered red L's through this part where I'm circling my mouse. I did put a black circle around this showing the majority of these red L's. A couple of these are going to be outliers and excluded, but we are mainly watching this area where these red L's are lined up through western Tennessee, north central Tennessee, and then south central Kentucky. If that track takes the track like that, then when it looks like cool temperatures, wind-blown showers, and it looks like that heavy, steady rainfall would mainly just be confined to Thursday night. If it takes the track more northwest, higher winds, still cool temperatures, but not as cool. And then also we're looking at more precipitation possible for our region as well. If it takes the track more towards the southeast than what it is showing now, then temperatures are likely to be warmer. We're going to be looking at less cloud cover, less rainfall totals, and we're going to be looking at less wind for that as well. So let's go ahead and look at what the rainfall is showing for right now. This is the European Ensemble total precip. So this is all 51 members of the European ensembles, and it is putting them together and showing us the mean and the average precip from all of those. And it is showing right now, this is the best case scenario that I can find out of all the models. This is the most reasonable scenario based on what the track of Harvey is forecasted to be as of right now. And it does show the heaviest excess of rain around 4 inches on average through the very center of Harvey, just to the northwest of that track. And the southeast of that track, we could be looking at around 2 to 3 inches of rainfall, or 2 to 4 inches of rain. So 2 to 4 inches of rain is my overall forecast, but I do think that everyone will pick up 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with the track that it is showing right now, subject to changes. And then I think that if we look at even higher rainfall totals, we could be looking at spots reaching up to 6 or even 7 inches of rain. With that being said, the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center located in Norman, Oklahoma, did come out with this map tonight. This is a hand-drawn map from actual human meteorologists and not a model, and they did shift from the morning run the axis of heavier rain back towards the northwest into our neck of the woods, showing areas some receiving up to 8 to 9 inches of rainfall, which I think is a little bit overdone and a little bit excessive based on the speed of Harvey and what the convection is going to be confined to. It's not going to be a huge area of convection. It's going to be a fairly small area, and the speed of the system will be around 5 miles per hour. That doesn't sound like a lot, but in the hurricane standards, that's about an average speed. So this is not going to be moving all that slow, but not all that fast either. I will say that the speed overnight with the models has strengthened, so that means that this will be moving a little bit faster than originally anticipated, which is good news for rainfall totals. That means that we will be looking at a little bit less. But the rainfall totals also sort of went up overnight, so that means that the convection and the heaviest rainfall will be increased than what it was last night as well. So it looks like that when that heavy steady precip moves in, it will be very heavy with rainfall rates up to 2 to even 4 inches per hour. Very high rainfall rates are possible when the onset of this heaviest precip moves into the region. So this is basically my worst case scenario. I hate to use a human meteorologist forecast, especially professional meteorologists, when I am an amateur one, and say that that is the worst case scenario. But it does look like this is not going to be something very reasonable based on the current data given, and this could end up happening. We still have about 24 to 48 hours before this event moves in, 24 to 36 hours actually, and with this being said, the speed and all dynamics of the system taken into the equation, it just does not look like this much rain is going to be produced. Not to say that this can't happen, but it does not look like we're going to be looking at, on average, this much rainfall. So the worst case scenario, up to this much amount of rain, so up to around 8 inches as the max. But I do think that localized spots could pick up 5 or 6 inches of rain, but overall, 2 to 4 inches of rain seems likely for the purchase area of western Kentucky. The further northwest you head, rainfall totals should get lighter, and the further southeast you head, rainfall totals should get just a little bit heavier. The track of Harvey is still uncertain, so all of this is subject to changes. Hopefully this is my last updated video on Tropical Depression Harvey as it begins to move into our region by Wednesday night into early on Saturday morning.